The exact same company responsible for manufacturing Agent Orange is manufacturing the white phosphorus that Israel is using on Lebanon. Bayer Monsanto is responsible for producing the white phosphorus that's being used on Lebanon. This is an incendiary munition that, when breathed in, literally burns you to death from the inside. White phosphorus causes deep, severe, and often fatal burns that penetrate through the skin down to the bone. It was used in 2023 in Gaza and Lebanon both, and is being used in 2026 in Lebanon still, and Bayer Monsanto is responsible for producing it. This is the same company who was one of 9 primary war contractors who produced Agent Orange from 1965 to 1969. And Agent Orange was sprayed indiscriminately across Vietnamese territory in the 60s and 70s. It's linked to birth defects, cancers, to a myriad of different health issues for both the Vietnamese people and the US soldiers who were forced to fight on the country's behalf. And there's so many incredibly important parallels to draw here, from civilian casualties to corporate responsibility during war, the limitations of international law, and the ecological damage as a whole that war can cause. But the fact that all of this is being done by the same US company has got to be some sort of cautionary tale about the evils of capitalism in the US empire. Lebanon's National Council for Scientific Research reports at least 175 unique attacks involving white phosphorus across 17 municipalities since October of 2023. And that includes the attack on Yahmor last month, where burning remnants fell on people's homes and vehicles. This has caused hundreds of fires. It's destroyed over 600 hectares of farmland and olive groves. And the ecological harm doesn't stop there, because Bayer Monsanto also produces the glyphosate that's being spread all over Lebanese crops. And despite being an international war crime to be used on civilian populations, the use of white phosphorus as a whole isn't illegal. It sits in an area of legal ambiguity, because it's technically still permitted under the Convention of Certain Conventional Weapons, something that Lebanon is a signatory to, but Israel is not. And by comparison, Agent Orange wasn't explicitly banned when it was used either. In fact, it took decades for a full recognition of harm, and even then, there was very little accountability. Because clearly, Bayer Monsanto is still able to produce chemical weapons. Because after the Vietnam War, courts largely ruled that manufacturers were not liable under defense contracts. All Monsanto had to do was settle a few multi-million-dollar lawsuits, quietly admit their guilt, and then they were able to continue to produce chemical weapons that destroy entire populations for profit.